Hello techies. Welcome to our brand new video series focused on helping you get the most of your experiences in life. Before we start the video, let's know about Upptalk. Upptalk is a live, interactive platform for software training, furnishing robust personalities who could take on universal business platforms.
They have not deleted these data models, but still a lot of customers have migrated the configuration from the back end to the front end system. So that is the reason they are now maintaining all the configuration for these two data models also from the front end. So we are not using these data models for any of the customer. Okay. But in the future releases it can also happen, how it has happened in Event Reason, that they will plan for deleting, removing from the back end because there is no dependency. Everything can be maintained from the front end. Okay. Got it. So in the interviews they will ask you, what is the data model? So how many type of data models are there? So data model is a tool in the provisioning where we are able to maintain the configuration for the organization structure as well as for the M2 data. Okay. So for that we are using this data model, total. We have 7 data models out of that. We are using only 4 data models, even 3 data models. There is no dependency. We are maintaining it in the front end. Okay. And the difference between each data model that I explained to you, proper data model and a context-specific property. Okay. Now, in each data model we have a code. Okay. That we call as an XML code. Okay. These XML code has already been created and defined by SAP. You don't have to create or develop any new code already. The code will be there in each data model. So whenever we want to work on any of the data model, what we need to do, we have to download the XML. When we download the XML, that is the XML code. When we download the XML, we can open that code and whatever is a modification or changes which is required. We can able to do the changes in the modification for those codes by downloading those XMLs. Okay. So in those codes the configuration is already defined. Okay, and that can be downloaded from the provisioning. Okay. So we are downloading it, the XML code. After downloading it, we working on the XML code, and after that we need to import back into the system. So when we import back into the system whatever changes which we are importing, that changes will be reflecting in the front. Okay. This is the way it goes on for each data model. For example, if I'm just downloading the corporate data model. So when I'm downloading the corporate data model, I have a location. So I'm adding some field here. I'm adding some custom field. So when I'm adding some custom field, I'm importing that particular XML. After saving it, I can come to the front-end system. I can see that particular field is reflecting on. Okay. In this way, we can able to do the testing model. Okay. So, coming to the foundation part, defining the objects and the field for the foundation. That is the standard one, because that is already being defined in the XML code. Which XML code for the corporate data? Okay. So from there only we can see in the code all these fields we can able to see. Okay. So once you downloaded it, once you work on it, once we're importing it, we can see the changes here in the front-end system. Okay. Okay. So when you are defining or when you are seeing that, what are the objects, which is bin, what are the fields? How the fields are defined in the XML means, you can see each fields are there. They have the label also. Can you see the label? Right. We have the what are the things which we can see label. We can see some fields are mandatory also, right? We can see length of the field right. This box is the length of the field right. So each box you can see, either you can enter character, numeric, special character. Okay. And you can see the length of the field. Some field, like some box, will be in small length. Some box will be much more length. Okay. So that all has been configured and maintained from the XML. Okay. Now you can see here, these are the standards we are showing here. So here below that, if you want to maintain a custom field, also if customer comes and says that for this foundation object I want an additional field. So where do you configure? We will not configure from the front end. Front end. This place is only to create a record. So when they want to create a record, they want a new field. Okay. So for that we have to go into the XML and we have to download that XML, add that field and save it and then import it. After importing it, I can see that particular field will be reflecting on. Okay. So XML is a place where you can able to handle and maintain the foundation object as the foundation object fields. Okay. Any questions here? Also when you are discussing about the foundation object, that is what? That is, the corporate data model, right? So here, whatever the objects and the fields are showing, that is due to because this is already being defined and maintained in the corporate data model, right? What are the other things? You can see location and the legal entity, right? These are also two objects and you can see there is a relationship between the two objects that we call as an association. Okay. So this association, also these object association is also maintained from the closure. Okay. So you will not be able to show us the editing. Yeah. Yeah. Coming to that only. So when we come here into the corporate data model and into the country-specific corporate data model, see earlier, there was even now also for other data models, we don't have any option because we cannot able to access the provisioning. Provisioning can only be accessible if SAP gives an approval with reference to the customer which you are working. Okay. Suppose you are being onboarded to a project and you are handling a customer. You have to send a request to the SAP to give the provisioning access for that customer. Then only you can able to work on the provisioning side. But what SAP has done in the year 2021, SAP came across with one feature which they introduced, one feature for the front-end system. So from the front-end system. Now what happens? We have an option that is corporate data model under country-specific corporate data model. So these two options are available in the front end, where we can able to download the XML.
Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us at sales@upptalk.com.